one Saturday, when we had a whole list of other things to work on in our house, Brian comes in and just tells me he's decided he's going to make a bench with these old broken chairs that were in our shed. And to me, this was very surprising because it's usually me with the ideas and he's the one going, huh? But this time I was really surprised and wondering why he wanted to do that. It might have taken me a minute to get on board with his idea, but once I did, I remembered some of the benches I had seen in magazines and catalogs like Ballard's, so that helped kind of steer him in the basic direction.
In this video, I'm going to take you through step by step how I made this, and then when you go look at the instructions in the blog post, you can make one for yourself. To make the bench, we use Duncan Phyfe knockoff chairs. Now this is a real Duncan Phyfe chair, and it's just beautifully made. It's just got a nice curve to the back, very comfortable to sit in, very solid. It's not, we've had this one for years and it's not separating at all. This is a Duncan Phyfe knockoff, and we've had a bunch of these, and I don't know, we've got them on Craigslist and at yard sales and thrift stores. And as you can see, this one's already starting to fall apart. The back is really, it's more up and down. It doesn't have a nice curve to it, and it's ready to go. But if you take just the back, it makes a pretty solid bench. Okay, the first step was to pull the backs of the chairs apart from the seats of the chairs. So I just had two chair backs. That wasn't very hard to do because the chairs were falling apart. So in making this, basically all I did was start by making a rectangle that was going to hold the two seat backs together in kind of a bench shape. And I just decided, measuring little benches that we had, that 36 inches would be a good length for the seat. And then for width, I just measured because I wanted it to be exactly the width of the seat backs, so the box for the seat wouldn't be hanging over. I used some hardwood that I had, and I believe I ripped it on a table saw so that this width is exactly the width of these little rails on the backs of the seats. And then I took screws. I just put two screws, drilled and screwed on the four corners to just make it really solid. And then I attached it to the seat backs, and I put in 3 screws along here. This little rail on the seat back was firmly attached to the back, and so I did that on both sides. And so then I ended up with this rectangular seat holding these two backs together. But it was a little rickety. It was kind of waving back and forth a little bit. So I just went and found pine 1x2, and I cut it so it would fit inside the leg, and then I left exactly enough room to put a little piece of pine 1x2 running this way on both sides. And so again, you can see I just made a similar rectangle, except in this case I kind of attached it to the chair back as I went along. So I screwed this rail in here first, and then this rail, and then I screwed the ends on to make my rectangle on the bottom here. And then because we thought, well, it would be neat to have magazines or books or something underneath the bench, I got just some scrap molding we had around and cut 5 pieces, and then I just spaced them evenly and tacked them into place using finish nails. That's basically the structure of the bench. For the seat, which is covered in fabric and a little bit of batting right now, but you can see it was just a piece of plywood that I had, and I just cut it so that it would fit pretty snugly between the seat backs. So it's the exact width of my little box, and it fits between the seat backs. By the time I was done, it kind of looked like a deck. It had like a lot of holes where the screws had gone in and these drill holes, and it was kind of dinged up. So Jamie came along, she's wonderful at this, and she took wood putty and she filled in all these screw holes that I'd made and sanded it and then painted it. And that's why it looks like it does today.
And that's how you go from 2 broken old chairs to an Empire-style French bench. And it turned out better than I ever imagined.